So, today we're diving into two very different looking roadmaps to the cosmos. On one hand, you've got an ancient Taoist system for astral healing, and on the other, a modern guide to multidimensional consciousness. Now, they might seem worlds apart, right? But what's fascinating is that they both point to the same incredible idea, that the universe isn't just out there, it's in here.
You know that feeling, right? You're looking up at a clear night sky and you just get this sense of belonging, like a memory of a connection you can't quite put your finger on. But what if that's not just some poetic thought? What if it's a real, tangible link to the cosmos that we've all just kind of forgotten how to use?
Well, according to ancient Taoist wisdom, this is the core of our problem today. We've lost the ability to directly soak up the pure energy of the universe. Instead, we get it secondhand, from the food we eat, which has already processed that cosmic light for us. It's kind of like we're choosing to live on cosmic leftovers instead of feasting at the source itself.
But here's the thing. Both of these frameworks, the ancient one and the modern one, are built on one single powerful idea. The idea that the vast, sprawling universe outside of us is perfectly mirrored by a universe inside of us.
This simple phrase, this is the key to the whole thing. It's an idea that mystics have been talking about for centuries. And think about what it really means. If you want to explore the cosmos, you don't actually need a telescope. You just need a mirror.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting, because you can see how they frame the same goal through two totally different lenses. The Taoist approach, it sees the universe as an internal landscape to be explored, literally within the cranium. But the 5D perspective sees it as an energetic state of being. It's not about going somewhere else. It's about changing the frequency you're broadcasting on, like tuning a radio to a completely different station.
To really get the Taoist map, you have to understand its fuel source, cosmic qi. The best way to think about it is like the universe's operating system. It's this intelligent, organizing energy that's just in everything. It's the same force that arranges a galaxy into a perfect spiral and also guides the division of a human cell. So this isn't just random energy. It's the very substance of life we're trying to reconnect with.
So if the destination is this deeper connection with the cosmos, how do we actually get there? Well, both systems offer some surprisingly practical tools. These are the maps for our journey within.
All right, here's a really tangible Taoist meditation. It's all about activating your internal energy centers, or fires. So you start by focusing energy just below your navel. Then you expand that awareness to the area around your kidneys. And finally, you draw it all up into your heart. The whole point is to get all three of these fires burning in harmony. When they do, they create this powerful internal circuit that plugs you directly into that universal qi field.
And check out this number, 26,000 years. It just shows you the incredible scale the Taoists were working on. I mean, they weren't just thinking about daily horoscopes. They were mapping these vast cosmic cycles. The Earth has this 26,000-year wobble that literally changes which star is our North Star. And why does that even matter? Well, they believed our own internal energy is tied to these massive celestial rhythms. Their practices weren't just about the body, they were about synchronizing your soul with the entire universe.
Now let's look at the 5D approach. It's got its own practical exercise for building your intuition. And honestly, the secret sauce is in step 3. Start small. Start with questions that don't really matter. This is just brilliant because it totally removes your ego from the equation. By asking simple yes or no questions for 6 weeks, and this is key, always following the guidance, you're not just practicing intuition, you're building a rock-solid relationship of trust with your own inner wisdom.
Following these paths isn't just some intellectual exercise. Both of them promise a really profound transformation of your day-to-day reality. A whole new way of living.
The 5D source is super clear about its destination, the fifth dimension. It isn't a physical place you travel to. It's a state of consciousness you learn to inhabit. It's a frequency where fear just isn't present, and your default emotional state is one of compassion and unconditional love. They're essentially describing what it's like to experience heaven, but right here, right now.
And look at this. This is where you can really see the overlap in what they both promise. The Taoist practices talk about balancing planetary energies to dissolve blockages and sync up your cells with information from the stars. The 5D path talks about life just becoming easier, filled with more joy and opportunity. And then you have this powerful claim of no more karma, basically ending those repetitive cycles by letting go of judgment. See? Both paths lead to a life of much greater flow and harmony.
Now, as you shift into these higher states of being, the 5D source suggests you might get some unconventional help. It talks about guides like dragons returning, not as fantasy creatures but as interdimensional beings here to help us see more clearly. It's a pretty wild idea, right? That maybe some things we've written off as myth are simply waiting for us to tune into the right frequency to perceive them.
So ultimately, whether it's the ancient Taoist masters or modern 5D teachers, what they're really doing is offering us a choice. They're handing us a map and inviting us to start our own incredible journey of exploration.
And I think this ancient Taoist proverb just perfectly captures the core message of both of these paths. The greatest discoveries, the most profound connections, they don't require a journey outward. The entire cosmos is accessible from right where you are right now.
So I guess I'll just leave you with this to think about. Is the universe something you look up at, or is it something you look into? Because honestly, your answer to that question might just change everything.